billion IP.
I love that quote from Cliff Basinski about LawBreakers and how he wanted it to be the next billion-dollar franchises, but unfortunately for everybody at Boss Key Studios, the reality was something quite different, and the game was nowhere near as well received as they thought it should be. In fact, they have stopped supporting LawBreakers and just announced their new game called Radical Heights, which actually launches tomorrow. And I want to talk about this right now. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And if you missed it, my earlier video today was about Spider-Man on the PS4 and how it's causing people to damage control the whole situation and just lose their minds in general. Make sure you check that video out when you do have the time. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, LawBreakers, its failure has been well documented on the internet. It's a game that was highly touted from Cliff Basinski, the maker of Gears of War. It was going to be something, a new fresh take on the hero shooter genre that Overwatch and a whole bunch of other games kind of popularized. But essentially, nobody really cared about LawBreakers. The launch numbers were pretty pitiful, and over the course of time, people were like having a LawBreakers Steam watch. How many players are playing right now? Ooh, there's 50 players. And then the next week it'd be like 10 players. And it was a game that failed in such a spectacular but public fashion that I have never seen before. And it was only a matter of time before Boss Key Studios moved on to something else, right? Cliffy B's got to, make sure his 50 some odd employees have work to do, because I mean, nobody wants a studio to go under and people to lose his job. So in the meantime, about 5 months ago, they started working on this new project called Radical Heights. And you might be wondering what exactly it is. And if you guessed that it's a free-to-play clone of PUBG and Fortnite, then you win some money, baby, because that exactly is what Radical Heights is. And it's honestly no surprise. LawBreakers was kind of a game that was made when the hero shooter was at its peak. It's not a bad game. I played it on the PlayStation 4. It's pretty fun with friends. It's just nobody else really seemed to care about it. The PC community and the PS4 community didn't care, didn't buy it. It was hardly marketed, on TV and things like that, so it died off. And what would you kind of guess the next game from a studio that kind of follows the trends would be? What's the big trend in gaming right now? Well, it's Battle Royale. PUBG and Fortnite, or more specifically Fortnite right now, are just on the top of not only the Battle Royale genre, but the entire video game landscape. So it's no surprise, although it's a little shocking that the game is coming out tomorrow, that their next game is a Battle Royale with a twist. It says here that Radical Heights is a free, extreme, early access Battle Royale shooter, and we'll come back to that in a minute because I have some things to say about the fact that they're calling it extreme early access. In this game, players partake in high-stakes gunplay in a sunny SoCal dome as they loot for weapons, gadgets, cosmetics, and cash that they can take with them, win or lose. Survive to the end or risk it all in this irreverent action game show where everybody wants to be rich and famous. Now, it's an early access game. It's free to play. And I understand that this is kind of, paying homage to the 80s and stuff, right? Which is why they call it extreme. But kind of look at that little quote there of saying it's free, extreme early access with, little what are you doing here, Boss Key? Because, as the trailer's playing right now for you guys to see what Radical Heights is, the game definitely does not look polished whatsoever. And yeah, I guess you can't really say much about it because it is an early access game, and criticism applied at early access games. A lot of people say you shouldn't do that, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of how it looks, considering their last game, LawBreakers, had visual polish. I mean, it was a AAA kind of experience, even though it was multiplayer only. I look at this game, and the cynic in me, yes, Cynic Rand, is just like you're just trying to cash in on a popular fad, much like you tried to cash in on a popular fad with the hero shooter. Now, what makes this different is, of course, the satire of the 80s and the fact that the cash. So, like, there's a mechanic in this game where enemies drop cash. You can accumulate it. You can essentially buy new weapons at stations across the map to get a better sniper rifle or a rocket launcher. Or if you find an ATM, you can take the cash that you have with you and actually put it into your account. So then, you know, next game you can have a lot of money and start with something else. It's a different take on Battle Royale than previous ones, but it also kind of takes the idea, at least the core element of Battle Royale, where like literally everybody starts at the same point, flying in a helicopter or being dropped on an island or something without anything at all. Everybody just has their clothes on their back or no clothes at all if they choose to go naked. And the whole point is to loot, get better stuff, kill the other people, take their loot, get better gear, and win. The fact that you can kind of take the cash that you find in a game and then use it later on in a different game to kind of like start out a little bit better than others, it kind of gives me a little bit pause. But hey, you know, I'm always, you know, I don't want to have any preconceived notions against Radical Heights, even though I do, but I'll go into the game playing it with an open mind. I just kind of a little bit cynical when it comes to the reason why they made this game. Now, the creative director says it's a 5-month passion project for the studio, as we were creating and publishing the game entirely by themselves. They're huge fans of the Battle Royale games, along with Bright, inviting references of the 80s aesthetic. Because of that, we wanted to put our own spin on the genre and create a futuristic 80s world that takes place in 2023 during an overtop game show where contestants battle out for fame and prizes. Now, a 5-month passion project, is that really a passion project, or more of like, hey, we need to get a game out there now so we don't close the studio. We need to get some income flowing in right now. Like, a passion project is something that's been going on for multiple years, you know, not something that's literally going on for 5 months. And since they said this was a 5-month project, they started making this game, what, back in November when LawBreakers was still going on. So you knew Boss Key had already said bye-bye to LawBreakers. In fact, they posted that statement saying that they won't be supporting it any longer. But, you know, it's... I don't know. I don't know what to think of this game, because there is a part of me that's like, you enjoy Battle Royale. I really enjoy PUBG. I'm willing to give this one a chance. But yeah, here we have a studio that is just copying what's popular like they did with their previous game. And since they were so quick to throw LawBreakers under the bus in the community, well, I can't really say the community that was with them because nobody was playing anymore, but the fact that they were so quick to basically pull the plug on LawBreakers makes me wonder, is it even worth investing any time in this game? And more importantly, any money into this game, because what happens if nobody buys this at all and they pull the plug on it? You know, like, fool me once. I mean, you guys know the saying. But of course, get used to this idea of tons of Battle Royale games coming, because that's the other kind of takeaway from all this, is the rise of Battle Royale and the fact that every single game is going to have some sort of mode like this. The success of PUBG and especially Fortnite are, you know, people covet that. The other publishers and developers out there, they covet what those two studios have. They want that. This is a copycat industry, as you can clearly tell. So it's smart on one hand for Boss Key Studios to get this game out now, when, you know, Battle Royale is still kind of in its infancy, right? You only have really 2 big ones. If you waited really long until the end of the year or next year, who knows how many more clones you would have. You know, like the rumors of Red Dead 2 having one, or Battlefield 5, or maybe the new Call of Duty Black Ops 4. All these games are probably going to try to cash in and do their own mode. So it's smart of Epic Or not Epic, my bad. That's what Cliffy used to work for. It's smart of Boss Key to get the game out immediately right now to try to cash in, no pun intended, on the Battle Royale market. It's smart that it's free to play, you know, in case people were worried about spending their money on a game that from a developer who just abandoned its previous game, so you don't really have to spend any money to get into it, right? And they're looking after Epic. Epic's, you know, Fortnite is a free-to-play game. They're seeing the success that PUBG had, the success that Fortnite had, seeing that Fortnite's, you know, obviously killing it in comparison to PUBG because it's free. So they're making the right choices. This isn't, I'm not faulting them for doing this because this was the right play, being free-to-play and being Battle Royale. It just seems so much like a cash grab, and the cynic in me is just like, they're a studio that just tries to copy whatever is popular and tries to build a game around that. But maybe it'll be successful this time. Maybe this will be the billion-dollar franchise that Cliffy B and Boss Key wanted to build, you know, last year with LawBreakers. Only time will tell, and I'm really interested in seeing if anybody actually tries this out on Steam to see if it's worth it. But anyways, guys, that is the video. Let me know what you think about this whole situation, about them pulling the plug on LawBreakers and coming out with a Battle Royale game. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, share it out on social media, hit that sub button, the notification bell so you're always notified when I drop new content. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.